Thank you. Thank you. I'm ready. What a beautiful photo. When I first heard about this project tonight, Lincoln, I was super excited because I can't think of another city more apt to be burned down than Lincoln, Nebraska. But thinking about it more, and I know arson's gone out of favor a little bit, I decided I would just ignite it a little smaller scale. I used to spend most of my life reading terrible Bukowski poems, writing terrible poems for awful women. But I decided that Bukowski, oh my God, I'm way behind. Pump the brakes. I decided that Bukowski was negative, so I went to someone a little more positive, Abe Lincoln, and I said, "Sir, what do I do? How do I get my freedom?" He, of course, quoted Whitman, who wouldn't? And then he rode off on his single-speed bicycle to Jake's for the ironic beard contest. It's beautiful. I did also realize that the key in life is getting rid of all your keys. Until you get down to one key, that's the only time you're happy. And that key should start something. It shouldn't be to a house that you're indebted to this I am pay monstrosity. No, it's a beautiful building. There's bad people in there. So I went into the bank, I gave my banker the house back and said, "Have a good time." And I bought this beautiful thing. I realized that the only time you're happy in life is when you're mobile. You know, Timothy Leary said, if you're not happy where you are, pick up the needle and move to another groove. The machine came with this N on it. I have no idea what it stands for, but I think it's Namaste. And I think I'm in the downward dog position when I say that. There is a CB radio. If you don't have a handle, you don't have a handle, if you know what I mean. CB was the original FB before Facebook. The only difference is CB has things that interest you. Like, where are the Smokies and are we hauling ass out of here? The stereo is beautiful. I was only going to play 1983 music in there, but then I realized it was their Kamazar, Safety Dance, I'll Tumble For You, and I gave up on that. So this is the bar and the command center to your left. The thing Bukowski didn't realize, it's okay to spend your life in a bar as long as you can drive away in it. This is the ashtray. I've never smoked in my life, but I'm going to start, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't need the man telling me my ashtrays are turning into coin slots. I'll make that decision on my own. This is a built-in blender. You heard it, built in. And that wallpaper, as glamorous as it is also margarita-proof. And I'm not sure if I go south of the equator if the blender will spin the other way, but we'll see. This is the gorgeous toilet. It has 4 controls. You're pretty much a one-man band when you're in there. You're pretty much John Philip Sousa. This is the bathtub. Elizabeth Hurley was in there and she was yelling at me that I turned a corner too fast. And she threw the loofah at me. But I did realize that Marilyn Monroe took a bath in 200 bottles of champagne, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So I have the champagne. And Mark Twain had a great quote that too much of anything is a bad thing, but too much of champagne is just about right. Churchill also said, "Gentlemen, we're not just fighting for France, we're fighting for champagne." And speaking of the champagne room, I had to make one stop before I left town, and she was like a picture there. Moonlight bouncing off her hair. We made love in the Chevy van. I'm way behind, but that's all right with me. This is the rearview mirror right before I pulled it off and realized that you can't live your life in that mirror. You need to live your life through the windshield. But I mainly realized it because I need some massive Botox, and I tore it off and tried to make it more symbolic. People were cheering me as we drove off, and they were all dressed like Namaste. And they were in the drunken jackass position when they did that. It was beautiful. And this is the final scene where, what's your holy road? Guppy Road, Sermon Road, wherever you're going. CB out. And if this RV's rocking, don't bother knocking.